What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Marskii, and I'm back at it again with another video. But today is gonna be kind of different. I'm gonna be reacting to some conspiracy theories that have been going around right now. And shout out to Perky because I'm using her Discord for the conspiracy theories. And I was just watching her videos earlier today. Some of them things are really kind of crazy and be throwing me off and really be scaring me a little bit. So I ain't gonna lie, I want to share this with y'all, and probably gonna try to change up the content on my YouTube channel right now because Dragon Ball Legends ain't it right now for me. I've been having a really I'm still gonna stream it, but I'm really having like a bad time with Dragon Ball Legends. But no more talking. Let's get right into the video.
Tiffany Henyard basically took this small town and turned it into like a third world dictatorship where she was getting escorted out of Tahoes that she paid $50,000 over asking for. She got a fleet of 6 of them. A security guard would grab her hand and she'd have police working overtime. She would sit in a queen throne and watch the town at events. She would make business owners do pay to play schemes like, oh, if you don't donate $3,500 for the 4th of July party I'm trying to do for the town, then I'm not going to approve your liquor license. She basically used the town tax money to live a luxury life. First class flights, steak dinners, wigs, Tahoes. The list does not end with how much she balled off of the taxpayer. The word on the street in Dalton is that there's a few people that are in her circle collaborating with the feds. The walls are closing in. They know that the whole thing is going down, and to me, there's no way she doesn't do time.
Okay. Mm, what's her name? Tiffany Henyard. I don't know exactly who that is, but yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on in this world, bruh. And I'm just trying to get out of this thinking small. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all think small, but you know, time to put down the phone and lock into what's going around in life right now, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
It's like, oh,
But
if you don't
this is just one example. Like, I don't know who this is or what's been going on. So shout out to I think Dad sending this video to Perky. Now I can me react to it. Go on to the next one.
Do you know why casinos avoid putting mirrors on their walls? It's because they don't want you to feel guilty and leave after catching a glimpse of yourself gambling. The bathrooms at Disney have one mirror towards the exit but none above the sinks to discourage us from holding up the line by taking too long to fix ourselves up in front of them. Another way that businesses use mirrors to alter our behavior is by having our reflections displayed at the screens in the self-checkout stations because we're less likely to shoplift if we're seeing our own reflections. The mirrors in fitting rooms will often be a lot thinner than usual and they'll be slightly tilted away from us because it makes us appear thinner and taller, which drives sales. Bars use mirrors to make it appear like there are more bottles than there actually is and to allow customers to observe people without directly staring at them, which given the alternative is way better for business. Most elevators in high-rise buildings have mirrors because the goal is to distract you from perceiving the time you spent waiting inside and to create the illusion of a larger space so it isn't as claustrophobic. Also, some convenience stores will place a mirror on the ceiling and it's usually above an area that's stocked with products that get stolen all the time, so they basically just use it to monitor that area a little bit more closely.
Now I realized that in CVS's and stuff, they have mirrors where you can see yourself. But nah, I didn't realize any of the other stuff. I mean, I don't go in casinos. I don't gamble. So that's one thing about me. If nobody ever knew, I don't like gambling at all. My money, my hard-earned money that I earn. But casinos, the restrooms, and Disney World and stuff, I never peep game on that. Next time I go to a bar or something, I'm gonna have to look into that. I know about this though, because I used to work at Walmart and self checkout definitely has this. So, hey, next time y'all go out or do anything, let me know if y'all see this.
You know Donald Trump?
yeah.
He didn't originally run for president because he wanted to be president. The reason he ended up running for president was because of Gwen Stefani. What? This is someone's theory. He was on The Apprentice. Gwen Stefani ended up being on America's Got Talent. He figured out she was actually getting paid more than him because of relevancy.
Okay.
But he had a plan. He decided for more relevancy, all I have to do is run for president.
What?
He doesn't have to win. It's just news, and he'll be relevant. So he decided, let me try my first rally. He went to his first rally, and the crowd was way, way bigger than anyone expected.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
And at that moment, he probably thought,
Let's do it.
let's actually do it.
What the heck? I ain't get, but makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, let me stop doing that. Makes a lot of sense. You know, one thing to do to maintain your wealth and keep money going and being relevant. That's all that it is. Oh, I can't watch that one. Let me see.
Hey, yeah, check out this video before they take it down. TikTok, this for entertainment purposes only. It's all public information.
It's disgusting. Here's how to make the McDonald's chicken nuggets exactly.
Oh, let me make sure. Let me figure out how to make this bigger so y'all can see. Go like this.
At home. Our first ingredient is bleach. Cheap mass-produced chicken in the US is danked in a chlorine bath to disinfect it and to soak in some water weight. Let it sit for 30 minutes. Then roughly cut it and put all of it in the grinder, including those things. You want a pink, disgusting-looking thing. Time to season our nuggets, and to make them juicy, they add sodium phosphate. I got this heavy-duty industrial cleaner from Home Depot. McDonald's probably use a food-grade one, but this is essentially the same thing. Then add yeast extract, wheat starch, natural flavoring, safflower oil, dextrose, citric acid, and salt. Mix all of this together and shape into chicken nuggets. Now we need to coat them. Water, flour, corn flour, baking powder, then a cocktail of phosphates that's great to make them puffy, but not so great for your kidneys. And some spices. Mix it well and throw them in. Now to fry this, they're using a blend of cheap, genetically modified seed oils. But that's not it. They add to the oil TBHQ, a petroleum-derived preservative, and dimethyl polysoloxane, essentially silicone, so it doesn't bubble too much. And then when they are done cooking it, they are placing it boiling hot into this paper container that's actually lined with polyethylene for extra microplastics. Send this to your friends who are addicted to McDonald's and let them know, would you eat this crap?
That's all in chicken nuggets, bro, from McDonald's, bro. Oh Lord, what do we be eating, bro? Ugh, bro, that's nasty. That's everything that's in the fucking chicken nugget. I'm sorry for cursing. That's in the chicken nugget, bro. So imagine what's in these restaurants and stuff like that. Stuff that comes pre-packaged. Stuff that you can leave in the freezer for years and it still be good. The stuff that's in cans that can be preserved for years and still be good. Like, you gotta really think about stuff like that. That's a whole nother topic for another day.
So it's come to my attention that there are a lot of people that do not know who are in the church, and actually some people who deconstructed and deconverted from the church don't know this as well. But Moses, Abraham, Jeremiah, characters like that never existed. They do not exist anywhere except within those writings. There is no archaeological evidence for ancient Egyptians ever enslaving ancient Israelites. As a matter of fact, the term Israelite did not get invented until after the alleged capturing and enslaving of the Israelites took place. The timelines are off badly. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John never existed. Those are names attributed by the church to those writings because they are anonymous. This is staggering. Let's go back to Moses. If Moses never existed, which he did not, do your research. Do not do a basic Google search where you're going to get biased journal articles from Christians. No, you want scholarly articles. You want a non-biased article. You want those research studies that have been conducted and over again rendered the same results. You want the facts, not feelings. And so you'll find that people like Moses was made up. You hear people say, oh, well, the name was changed, but he really did exist. He did not. How can you write about your own death? These are things that only takes critical thinking to understand, this is fiction. And the serpent said unto the woman. At that point in time, I think a reasonable mind who's not blinded by this thing called faith will understand that that's fiction. A child, as soon as they read that the serpent said unto the woman, and they ask the question, what is the serpent? And if you refer to any animal, they're going to say, this is not real. So, did you know that Moses, Abraham, all of these individuals that we believe were real, they're false. None of them ever existed. Now, this is liberating. It's liberating, and I hope that you find out why it's liberating.
I don't know too much about that one. That's something for a deeper story for a different day. But I do believe in Yahweh, so yeah, it's a different story for a different day. I feel like the Bible is here to guide us how to live. We all know that just the Bible is just a God didn't write the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Bible is here to help us live as good people and what we should and should not do. Because I feel like you can relate to a lot of things that's in the Bible. So that's why I believe in Yahweh. Like I feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I said, you can relate to some things that happen in the Bible to today's time. So it's like, hey, that religion or that belief system I feel most connected to because this is what I see in this day and age of brothers killing brothers over greed and other things like that. Slavery in the Bible, you see that. What else? Just sins and stuff that's happening today, lust, all types of stuff that you can see in this day and age. That's why I believe so much in the Bible and I believe in a higher up. So, of course, get closer to God because God is going to teach me, well, Yahweh is going to teach me how to live like a actual, like, good person. That's it. That's all I need. Live by faith, not by sight. So, that too. You don't know what's out there, but I know I don't need to know. I just need to live by faith and who I pray to and things that I prayed for actually like happen. So, and I know who I pray to. I pray to Yahweh. So I'm always gonna have a what's the word? I ain't trying to get too deep, but a connection with Yahweh and things that I've been through and things of that nature. I always go to him, and sometimes some in my thoughts and stuff, I go to him, and it just be like he'll let you know. Like I know they not out here reading my mind, so yeah, it get way deeper, and that's just the surface. On to the next video.
Christopher Columbus went on a journey to find India and ended up in America. We've been taught partial truths. The earth is flat. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Yes, we were given partial truths. But you know what I just realized? Did you know that Christopher Columbus was also in Jamaica? You see, I've never was taught this in grade school that
Of
he was
course.
in Jamaica. And so
One thing about school is they never gonna teach you the full thing. They gonna teach you what's on that test. And sometimes what they teach you don't be on that test. Well, I ain't gonna disgrade school. I'm just saying what I seen on my years of going to school. But they're not gonna teach you the whole thing. And one thing school don't teach you is about life and things. What school really teach you is how to be prepared for a 9 to 5 to work under somebody. I'm just gonna let you know that. Like that's what school genuinely taught me. Go to school, wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, get off at 2. What that is. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 7 hours. 7 hour shift. You just not getting paid. You getting paid knowledge, but you not getting paid no money. 7 hour shift, got a 30-minute lunch break. What that sound like? That sound like a 9 to 5 to me. Go to a place, gotta listen to a teacher all day, got a principal. What that is? The teacher is a manager. Who the principal is the one that's over the whole thing. What that sound like? A general manager or the owner. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that's all school feel like prepared me for was a 9 to 5. I'm not trying to break that right now. Like it's just crazy how school is so similar to a job.
you would then realize that it was the Spaniards, right, that enslaved the Jamaicans. So, what was Christopher Columbus doing in this area? How can he go from Jamaica to America seemingly almost simultaneously if he was searching for India, thought that the Americans were Indians, and found out that they were American? How does this happen? Hmm. Christopher Columbus named it Santiago, but it was named Zamaka persisted. Jamaica is where Jamaica basically derived from. But wait, there's more. You see, the Santiago in South America was also founded by the Spanish. So, how the hell did the Spaniards conquer all of this land and traveled all of this water with their armies to conquer these places that were drastically farther from Spain? When you realize that Spain, right, is right here,
Mhm.
right, this little bit of water separates Spain from Morocco, and we know that the Spaniards conquered Morocco. We know that the Moroccans, the Moors, traveled, right, who created Tartaria, the one world connection. Now remember, they said that Christopher Columbus came in 1492, right? But the slide I just showed you before was the Spaniards came in 1515, I believe, in the 1500s, that were conquering on a whole nother side. How did you have the time and the resources to conquer a new world that you did not know existed, yet took you guys a short amount of time to get there? On top of, if India's right here, how did you navigate the whole world by ships? Or could it just be that we are a one world connection and that Christopher Columbus proved that it's a small world after all?
It's a small world. Yeah. Hey, the only place that shows a circle globe is NASA to deceive. But let's get into another one. Pit My Ride was a total scam. I used to watch this every day, bro, when I was little. Let's see what you got
Not
to
many
talk
people know this,
about.
but the show Pimp My Ride was a total scam, and most of the cars featured on it were either not fixed properly or made worse. Pimp My Ride was about normal, everyday people who had cars that were in total disrepair. So the rapper Exhibit would show up at their house one day and tell them that he was going to pimp their ride. And they would not only fix the car so that it was drivable, but they would also add a bunch of like really interesting and extravagant new
What some
custom
weird
additions
stuff?
that would
Like,
be
hold on, hold
tailor
on, hold
suited
on.
to the person.
Some weird stuff. Like, I remember one time this dude on this show. I specifically remember this episode that he had like I think in the front they had like paintball guns. Like the what's the front could shoot paintball guns. I don't know what episode that was, or it was such a long time ago, man. So I remember that Pacific episode. I remember another episode. They made somebody van look like the Scooby Doo van. I was like, bro, he really go ride around in the Scooby Doo van. Like looking back at it now, it's like childish, but like
Personality. So, for example, there was a guy who really loved movies, and so they installed a projector on the car so that you could project movies on the side of it. But famously, many of these custom installations were also kind of like really over the top and ridiculous. Like, for instance, a nurse who had their car pimped and they installed an MRI machine inside of the car. But what a lot of people didn't really know is that the actual pimping of the rides was largely completely fake. And this didn't come out until years later, whenever Huffington posted an expose where they interviewed a bunch of former contestants who revealed that essentially Pimp My Ride made their cars worse than.
I remember one one person a long time ago on YouTube, like they showed the lady who got her car pimped like on a thing, and they said they added so much stuff to it to make it interesting. Like her car wasn't really that dirty, and they added so much stuff to make it look like she was just a dirty person. So I understand it's like all for entertainment purposes now, but back in the day, I thought that was like really real. Like I thought they was really doing it.
Than they were before they got on the show.
And I
For
thought the
instance, there
cars
was
was
this
working
contestant named
and
Seth
everything else.
Bartino who was a little bit overweight, and his car needed a new engine basically. And so what ended up happening was Pimp My Ride, instead of focusing on replacing the engine and making the car functional, they focused on the fact that he was overweight, and they put a cotton candy machine inside of his car and basically made a big deal about how he was kind of like a bigger guy and he loved eating snacks. And in addition to being a little bit insulted by the narrative that they chose to go with, Seth says that after the production of the show, he ended up having to put another additional $1,700 of work into the car because they didn't actually fix the underlying issues with it. And then ultimately the car broke down and he had to get rid of it and get a new one. Seth also said that they installed multiple LED TVs in the back of his car, but that they stopped working the day after they filmed the episode. There was another contestant named Justin Derringer who said that they actually added more damage to his car prior to filming to make it seem worse.
See,
They scratched the paint,
but I
tore
know it
off the
was
bumper.
a lady
And
said
then
they
they
made
ended
her
up
car
adding
more
a movie
dirty.
projector, like I mentioned earlier, and a pop-up champagne bottle holder. But then after the filming of it, they removed the projector and the champagne bottle holder, saying that neither things were road safe. So they essentially scratched up and damaged his car, fixed this cosmetic damage that they made, installed a bunch of weird, useless stuff, took it out after filming, and didn't actually fix his car. In fact, most contestants interviewed from the show report that very shortly after filming the episode, they either had to get rid of or sell the car because it wasn't drivable, or it was just a huge cash sink headache that they had to put a bunch more money into to get it to work that they should have just actually used to get rid of it and buy a new car. In the years since, Exhibit has sort of distanced himself from the show in interviews, saying that he was just the host and he really had nothing to do with what they did with the cars or, whether they fixed
Yeah,
it or not.
Exhibit
But
never
a lot of
fixed
the
the cars
contestants
and stuff.
sort of ended up feeling like the show made their lives worse rather than, better or, gave them a cool new car.
Yeah. See how people will like. It's a cold world out here, man. It's a cold, cold world. You thinking you finna get a brand new car? Nah, people just using you for content. Like that's one thing I want Gene to say. If I ever do anything with any other content creator or because I'm just starting off some new stuff. I like kind of like doing solo stuff, but I do want to eventually like go out and do like maybe IRL content one day. But to use people for content and stuff like that, that's not me. Like, nah, I couldn't do that. Like, I genuinely have to be your friend to order to do content with you. Or I understand people do like interviews and stuff. Not that's not like what I mean by using people. I'm talking about like for a prime example, it'd be like stuff. If y'all ever watch like Pretty Boy Fredo and stuff like how people be coming out and be like, oh, he used me for content, this, that, and the third, like stuff like that. Like I would never try to make you my friend just to use you for content. If I'm your friend, I'm genuinely your friend.
Yo, this is why people be crashing out, y'all. Like, y'all see this? It's because it is. Like I told y'all before, bro. I don't care. I'm gonna just keep showing y'all, bro. That's exactly why that happened, bro. Because the economy, these jobs not playing fair with people. And it really makes me sad, bro, just to see the direction that America is going in. Like, it's not gonna get better for the working class, bro. Like, it's really not. Like, we really gotta realize, bro, like, you can ask the jobs all you want for a raise and all that stuff.
The
And
jobs
they
don't
really feel
care.
like you asking for something negative. Like, now you really trying to help
What?
yourself out. But yet, but yet they want people to work super hard just to work
Super
on other
hard
people's
for
dreams
you.
and other people's stuff. Like, America is cooked, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it.
I'm sorry that I'm talking about the every video, but that's why I'm glad that the job that I work out now, like, it's really not some big task that I gotta do. It's not. But the jobs beforehand, like they want you. Like when I was working at Walmart, bro, I was doing the truck every day. If you go back and look at my live stream, like, bro, they had me in the back doing the truck every day. I'm either in the truck or I'm either getting the truck, getting the boxes off the line to put them on the pallet. Like I was doing that every day. And then when I want to ask for a day off or if I want to ask for a raise or anything, they gave me a 33-cent raise after a year being there. That's a slap in the face for real, bro. Like, it will never get easy, bro. You just gotta find some way to break the chain. A 9 to 5 is not worth it at all, bro. I don't care if you gotta do Uber. Don't go to nobody establishment that's not gonna have your back or care for you at all. Like I feel like the job I'm at now, if I wasn't cool with you you know who you is, if you ever watched this video, but if I wasn't cool with you, bro, I feel like they would have been trying to get me up out of there. Especially when I be trying to act. Man, I done seen it. But on to the next video. That's a story for a different day.
But I like letting go. Hang on. Y'all are trying to scare people into joining the church?
Yeah, but people like getting scared on Halloween anyway. Why not make them jump in the right direction?
Actually, fear has been a recruiting tactic used by organized religion for centuries. When you add guilt to keep people in line, it's an extremely efficient form of crowd control.
Our religion is based on love, Sheldon, not fear.
So what happens when people don't follow the rules?
They burn in hell. Because God loves them.
I don't know about that one. But on to the next one. I ain't got nothing to say about that.
AI is really coming for your job.
Cause that topic can be a lot deeper on why we go to hell. We kind of send ourselves there. God doesn't really send us there. But that's story for a different day.
bit of your job, and it's going to drive energy costs to effectively zero, will drive labor costs to effectively zero. You'll be able to get anything you want for effectively free, and you're still going to be traumatized because you have no meaning and purpose. People are going to start pushing back on that. So I think there's a pretty near-term timeline where this starts being problematic. 25 is a year it goes from, oh, it kind of feels like I have an intellectual understanding to I feel that AI is doing something. That's this year. 26 is like, I'm really starting to take this seriously and I'm pushing back. I'm getting very vocal and I'm boycotting companies that use AI, and I'm getting angry at the people that are building it. 27 is where you start seeing violence towards robots, and I hope it stops there. And I hope then it starts returning dividends enough that people are like, actually, this is pretty cool, and it's made a lot of aspects of my life better, and I see costs coming down, and whoa, this is wildly deflationary.
AI is kind of crazy. AI kind of scares me on some of the stuff. Like everything has AI, and look at our iPhones now. Our iPhones now have AI assistants and Chat GBT and all this stuff. Like, but we doing it to ourselves. Like we created the technology, and it's just going to think like we do it to ourselves when we create stuff like this. Like if you ever just look back and think about it, if we would have never created guns and war machines and all types of stuff. We just a victim to our own technology. Like we're doing it to ourselves. And how smart AI is going to be, bro, I can't tell. I can't tell the future. That's one thing only Yahweh can tell what's going to happen in the future. So that's my take on AI. We just a victim to our own stuff. Let's see. Video games. We ain't seen nothing on video games yet, so
If we being honest, video games the only thing standing between me and federal prison. You think I'm playing ranked because I enjoy stress? You really think I'm playing Brawlhalla because it's fun? No, it's the only thing stopping me from committing tax fraud or burning down the nearest Walgreens. Do you know how many factors go into why a man play the game? A nigga could have lost his job. He going through heartbreak. He failing all his classes and he ain't got no money. The game is the only vital option between life and death. Somebody's dad worked 80 hours last week. If he don't get to come home and play the game, kids are getting whooped. You take away a man's game, next thing you know, bro in the woods screaming shirtless covered in blood that's not his. The game is literally divine intervention, and parents be mad they son got a controller in their hand. You want them to have a crowbar? My parents used to think I was playing horror games for fun. I was playing it so my life didn't become one. I was playing fighting games so I didn't start one. The only reason I ever copped Sims was so I could remind myself what a stable household looked like. The game is not a hobby, it is containment protocol. If a man don't got the game, he's gonna go outside and do something crazy. If he does something crazy, he's going to prison. If he goes to prison, now he's in the prison showers fighting for his manhood.
he went too deep with that one. I get it. Games and doing hobbies are a way to escape reality and get stress off of you. It's not just video games. Like doing YouTube stuff like this can be like an escape from reality and try to, you know, get away from the real world. So it's not only that. I can understand you went to deep. You gotta have self control. Like just cause you stressed don't mean you gotta take it out the next person or somebody establishment or do anything to anybody. But yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes I do get on the game to be like, man, I wish my homies on the game so I be thinking about this, that, and the third right now. But yeah, video games is a escape route from reality. Sometimes you need to go outside, walk, or paint, go draw. Some I used to draw. I need to get back into drawing, but yeah, he talk about crowbar in his hand. This man is wild. But let's go ahead and end this off right now. Appreciate y'all for watching. The little people who I know who's gonna watch this because my channel is not based off reactions and stuff like this. So this is all new territory right now. So if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. It's all free. And I'll see y'all later. I will be streaming today at 8 o'clock. For the new people, I do stream Dragon Ball Legends, like I said, but this is like something I want to move forward on doing and try to drop on the channel some new stuff because, like I said, not really enjoying Dragon Ball Legends right now how I used to. So, yeah, till next time. Peace.